Hello friends, welcome to Insights Again Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Ram Janmabhoomi and Babri Masjid dispute. And a small announcement to you. In the yesterday video, there was an error to include the PDF file. I included in the yesterday's video description. Please find the yesterday's video description to access the PDF file related to that particular video. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about dispute regarding the Ram Janmabhoomi and the Babri Masjid dispute. Okay, actually today we all know that the entire India is completely immersed in Ram, Jai Sri Ram slogans, as the Pran Pratishtha of this particular Ram Janmabhoomi was done in a very auspicious day by Prime Minister, and it is under the supervision of so many saints and priests. So in this occasion of the Pran Pratishtha, on this occasion, first we will try to understand the dispute regarding the Ram Janmabhoomi and the Babri Masjid. First let us see the components of this video. In this video you can expect why this particular in news now, why we are discussing in today's video, what was the issue, background, what was happened, okay. Then Supreme Court verdict, Supreme Court given judgment in favor of whom, okay, who got the claim over this particular land. You know that the Ram Lala, that means the childhood, okay, the infant Ram, that means it belongs to the Ram temple according to the Supreme Court observation. And why Supreme Court invoked Article 142? In this particular judgment, in this particular argument, the Sunni Waqf Board, the Waqf Board, they claimed this land by using the concept of adversary position. I will explain what is the meaning of adversary position and all these things. This particular topic is related to Indian polity and contemporary issues. First let me explain the chronology of legal disputes. First, this legal disputes, it starts way back with 1950, okay, but the facts of the case, it went back till 1528. In the year 1528, okay, the Mughal Emperor Babur and the Babur commander, they demolished the one Hindu temple belongs to Lord Ram, which is considered as a birthplace of the Ram, and they demolished, and the Ram temple was, this masjid was been built in 1528 according to even archaeological survey of India findings as well, and according to the books of the various travelers. Those books we will discuss in the further of this video. This was in 1528 according to claims. Then in 1949, Lord Ram, this Lord Ram idol, it surfaced inside the mosque. Muslims protests and government locked this property. It locked completely. But the major breakthrough happened in 1986. In 1986, during the Rajiv Gandhi government, these locks been broken and the temple, this mosque was opened to Hindus. Actually, you have to understand this context with relevant to the Shabano case. In Shabano case, Supreme Court given judgment in favor of the Muslim women. But due to the Sunni Waqf Board, due to the pressure of them, this Rajiv Gandhi government, they passed an act in the Indian Parliament to overturn this judgment given by the Supreme Court in Shabano case. And to pacify the Hindus as well simultaneously, okay, his government decided to open this, of course his government may not directly, support it, but they withdrew the case in the district judge, and based on the district judge orders, this particular property opened for Hindus. They can go and they can worship the Lord Rama at least once in a year. Next, we all know that on December 6, 1992, Babri Masjid demolition was happened by Karsevak, and it resulted to Hindu-Muslim violence, and around 2000 plus people died. And because of this incident, even the state governments of Madras, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh, those governments were dismissed and president rule imposed in those states. Next, after that, in 2001, special judge, they dropped these cases related to Babri Masjid demolition against L.K. Advani and Kalyana Singh. In the next year 2002, train carrying Hindu activist, it set fire in Godhra, which resulted to killing of 58 Hindu saints. Consequence to this, riots erupted in Gujarat, and it resulted to Godhra riots, and around 2000 people lost their lives. And further, in 2010, Allahabad High Court given 2/3 of the Ayodhya site to the Hindu parties and 1/3 of the Ayodhya site to the Waqf Board. It was stayed by Supreme Court, and Supreme Court in its various judgments and final judgment in 2019, okay, 2019 Supreme Court favored that this particular dispute has to be solved through alternative mediation. Rather than court involving in this dispute, court encouraged the alternative mediation. Here if you remember, court suggested one person to mediate the between the Hindu as well as Muslim parties. Who was that person? If you are able to recall, put your answer in the comment section. Their final verdict, November 9, 2019, Supreme Court grants this disputed land to Ram Lalla, and Supreme Court also directed the Union government and UP government as well, to allocate around 5 acres of land to Muslims for building their mosque. And the consequent to this, February 5, 2020, consequent to this, Union government appointed a trust with 15 members to oversee the construction of Ram temple. 5th of August 2020, Prime Minister laid foundation for the Ram temple, and finally 22nd January 2024, okay, this Pran Pratishtha of the Ram temple has been done. So this is about the legal chronology. In the judgment of 9th November 2019, the main site given to Ram Lalla and the certain rest of the area, 5 acres, the Waqf board, they can take 5 acres within that premises, or they can take whichever the location they prefer. Of course, UP government allocated 5, Union government as well, they allocated 5 acres to them, and certain rights also given to one of the Nirmoha Akara. It is one of the sects in Hinduism. Their main focus is regarding the protection of temples. They given certain rights. Because of that, they got the membership in the trust related to Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi. So this is about the chronology regarding this particular dispute. Now let's see the notes. Prime Minister, he led the rituals related to Pran Pratishtha ceremony at the historic Ram temple in Ayodhya on Monday 22nd January. So many lakhs of people, they watched this particular ceremony on the television, and across the country this Jai Sri Ram slogans completely the kind of vibrance created across the country. What was the issue? The issue is regarding sections of Hindus. They believed that Babri Masjid, which named after the Mughal Emperor Babur, it was built on the Ayodhya. Okay, it was built in Ayodhya by destroying Ram temple. So now Hindus, they claimed that they wanted their land back. So this was a claim. Then what was the claims from the Muslim parties? Muslims claiming that this mosque was constructed in 1528 by Mir Baki, commander of the Babur's army, and there was no demolition of temple any place. So naturally that place belonged to them. And even they invoked the concept of the adversary position as well. In legal terminology, adversary position means if a particular property in the actual position of you for certain duration, then you will get the legal ownership of that property. It can be related to any agriculture property, or if you are tenant for certain years or certain duration of time, then you can start claiming the original rights on the property. So now the Waqf board also claimed this property by invoking adverse position. Adverse position is a hostile position of a property which has to be continuous, uninterrupted and peaceful. So here Waqf board claiming that they continuously, uninterruptedly, they handle this property in a peaceful manner. So they were claiming, okay, they were claiming that around 400 years, since 400 years we are continuing and this property in their position. So they claimed that this property belonged to them. Of course, Supreme Court dismissed this argument and the property given to Ram Lalla. The verdict, Hindus. The Hindus, they got the entire disputed 2.77 acres in Ayodhya, where the demolished Babri Masjid once located. And the position of this 2.77 acres of land, it remains with the central government, and central government appointed the trust. And Muslims, they'll get alternative 5 acres of land, either within the 67 acres acquired in and around the Ayodhya Ram temple, or whichever the place they decide, okay, subjected to certain conditions, and that land allocated to them. And a trust also formed within 3 months after the judgment. Nirmohi Akara, it is one of the sect, as I mentioned earlier. They fought for the protection of temples, and they were also appointed as members in the trust. And the verdict given by then CJ Ranjan Gogoi. Of course, you have to remember later After he retired from CJI position, he was appointed as a Rajya Sabha member in the category of, he was nominated as Rajya Sabha member in the category of, like art, science, like social service, different categories you have. So in that category of social science or social service, in that category he was appointed. Apart from him, in that particular bench, 4 other judges were S.A. Bobde, Justice G.V. Chandrachud, Ashok Bhushan and S.A. Nazir. Now D.Y. Chandrachud is acting as a CJI, you all know that. This verdict was unanimous. That means all the judges given the same verdict without any dissent judgment. In the judgment, Supreme Court invoked Article 142 Clause 1. If a particular, like a particular complaint, they did not get the justice through any mechanism, then they will given the complete justice by using Article 142 Clause 1. That means when any form of the law is unable to provide relief to your grievance, and the final solution can be through Article 142 Clause 1. So by using this provision, Supreme Court can do the complete justice if they are unable to get the justice. But here the catch is, for the first time Supreme Court invoked this Article 142 Clause 1 in a civil case, that too dispute between 2 parties. Next, travelers who quoted about Ayodhya. Actually, these travelers' accounts also taken into consideration while they given the judgment. Popular travelers who wrote about Ayodhya temple, there were Joseph Tiffantler, William Finch and Montgomery Martin. These were the popular travelers during that time who mentioned the Ayodhya in their books. Tiffantler, in his popular book Description Historic et Geographici de Indie, it is similar to like Megasthenis Indica kind of thing. He described geography of India. He was being appointed, commissioned at the famous observatory of Sawai Jai Singh, the Raja of Jaipur. Later he was attached to Jesuit College in Agra, where he was built with the where he was associated with the patronage of Akbar. Next, William Finch, in his book Early Travels in India, in his book he described about the Ayodhya temple as well in that location. Now come back to the temple architecture. This particular temple, majority of the North Indian temples, they follow the Nagara style of architecture. Nagara style of architecture mainly consists of Garbhagruha, exactly above the Garbhagruha Shikara, and before Garbhagruha Mandapams. Generally multiple number of Mandapams, and the Mandapams also they are having the top with the pyramid shape. This is a particular Nagara style of architecture. There is a contemporary architecture style in South India at that time, that was a Dravida style of architecture. There are prominent differences between the Nagara style and Dravida style, you can check. But popular Nagara style architecture temple example, I will read out: Sun Temple in Konark, and the Sun Temple in Modhera, Gujarat, and Ocean Temple in Gujarat. Whereas popular temples for Dravidian style of architecture, like Chennakeshava Temple, Belur, Karnataka, Hoysaleshwara Temple in Halebeedu, Karnataka, and some many more temples are there. Just I given few examples for the architecture. And the dimension of this Ayodhya Ram temple, these are the dimensions, and it was constructed with 3 floors. Chief architecture of this Ram temple complex, Ayodhya Ram complex, Chandrakant Bai Sompura, that he designed the like Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi temple on the lines of, he also designed the Akshardham temple in Gujarat as well, and he was the one behind so many temples design. Even in the recent past, one of the tallest Ambedkar statue unveiled in Hyderabad, he was a designer behind that as well. Now this statue, the Ram Lalla statue, this idol, it was surrounded with like so many different deities as well. It starts with Hanuman and ends with the Navagraha as well. This Ram Lalla idol, okay. Of course, this idol also, this like sculptor of this idol also belong to Karnataka. If you know, put his name in the comment section. And this is a temple. On the 4 corners of the temple, this like Ram Janmabhoomi temple, 4 temples are there. On the north and south arm of this temple also, like Hanuman temple as well as Annapurna Devi temple located. And the speciality of this temple is they did not use any steel or any iron in this. Completely, more or less the complete temple construction, it was built with the stone as well as marble and some other different types of stones. And of course, this temple also, they helped from technical sides from IIT Chennai and some other important organization as well. And the construction of this temple was done by the L&T and supervised by Tata Consulting Engineering Limited. So this is regarding some information related to Ayodhya Ram temple. Now let's see yesterday's MCQ. Consider the following countries: USA, China, India. How many of the above countries were successful in reaching the moon? Okay, so USA, China, all three. Pake Paga Hornbill Festival is a state festival related to Arunachal Pradesh. INSAT 3D in news which related to what? Weather satellite of India. Now today's video question. Today's video question is, what is the name of the holy river flowing near Ayodhya? What is the name of this river? Next mains question. What is the Places of Worship Act? Actually this act was enacted during the PV Narasimha Rao government, and what are its provisions? Okay. Now we reached to the end of this video. In this video we mainly focused on the timeline related to Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi and Babri Masjid. And of course we also discussed about Article 142 class 1 and the claims of the Hindu as well as the Muslim community we discussed. Apart from that, we also focused on Nagara style of architecture and some architectural details of the Ram Mandir as well. So this is the detailed analysis regarding the Ram Janmabhoomi and Babri Masjid dispute. I hope this video added value addition to your preparation, and if you would like to give any suggestion regarding any specific topics, please feel free to give the suggestions. I will try to include those topics in the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.